Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to the Chattanooga FC pregame live show. This is the season finale. We're presented by Workshop. I am Charlie Milburn.
And I'm James Dawson, and we're coming to you guys live for the last game. It is this evening. Hate to say it. Hate to even let those words out, Charlie.
I'm sad.
I know we're playing the Maryland Bobcats. We got a little Maryland run here to finish out the year. It's 7:30 at Finley Stadium, and guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets, it's cfctix.com. Go ahead and grab those and come over to the stadium.
Yep, there's still good time. It's raining now, at least it is out in Ottawa, but it's going to clear out. And regardless if it doesn't stop raining, that's CFC weather. That's what we love. That's what we were built for. So yeah, definitely come on down. If for some reason you can't make it to the game, so if you're incarcerated, if you're trapped under something heavy, but you do have your phone, which you obviously do because you're streaming us right now.
You have Wi-Fi.
You can watch the game. You can head over to our YouTube channel or My Kuju and check out all of the action there. So we will be posting links to those streams at 7 o'clock tonight, somewhere right around there. But try to get down there if you can. Last game of the season, and it's going to be huge. Tell us why, James.
This is Zeca's last game. And we're gonna be sitting down with him here in just a few for a pre-recorded interview. 8 years playing with this club, for the thousands of owners, for the thousands of fans. I mean, this is a player we've all come to know and love. So that is an interview you will not want to miss coming up later on this show.
For sure. So for anyone who doesn't know, Zeca announced this week he's going to be retiring from professional football after 8 seasons with Chattanooga FC. So this is going to be his last match as a player. And he was very candid with us when we spoke to him earlier. It was a very candid interview, and we got a lot out of it. And I think that you will too. So you definitely want to stick around for that.
Very honest. And yeah, good friend, great guy. And we're also going to give you guys a sneak peek of the starting 11 for tonight. So don't go anywhere.
That's very true. But first, Chattanooga FC would like to thank Vibrant Meals, ESPN Radio 105.1 The Zone, and all of our partners who have helped us during this less than usual year. You know, usually soccer clubs, sports teams will have partnerships that will mean a lot. But in 2020, our sponsors literally helped us keep the lights on, and we are so grateful for their support. Thank you so much to every single one of you.
Thank you all so much. Well, tonight, Charlie, what do we got on the table? We're taking on a team. We played a Maryland team last week, and here we are taking on the Maryland Bobcats FC.
That's right. They are a club. They've been around since 2016. They formerly played under the name World Class Premier Elite, which is, I mean, you walk onto a pitch with all sorts of expectations with that sort of name, right?
Goodness.
They were a developmental team. They rebranded to their current name late last year. They are a new NISA squad. They're really known for, as the name would imply, being a world-class premier elite developmental program. They have much like the CFC Academy that we have here, they have a very deep and wide, like the Mississippi River, developmental program, lots of youth teams. And so now this is going to be their first foray into the pros, starting, I guess, next year with NISA. But so yeah, we're excited to see them. What are you expecting out of this match tonight, James?
Well, these guys are very young and hungry. I think one of the things that we've picked up on in our interviews in the pregame show this year is that the path to pro, if we could just call it that, is different for every player. This looks like a team that a lot of talented players want to spend their time at. players that are either in college or evaluating skirting around college to continue to play soccer. They actually won their conference, and they were playing against some tough opponents, teams like the New York Cosmos, who,
Sure.
let's be honest, Cosmos didn't give us any trouble this year, but a very tough and competitive team. So tonight, I'm interested to see what they put on the field. I'm already convinced that we've got CFC home game conditions with whatever storm's going to blow through. When you're talking about Finley in the rain, I think we're always at an advantage, or a slick surface, but a very young athletic squad out of Maryland. You would expect to see some goals out of a team like this, some goals in a counterattack, or just some brilliant finishing from individual players. What do you think, Charlie?
I agree. I think it's gonna be a really tough match. I think they're going to come down here looking to prove themselves, looking to kind of set an example to the rest of NISA, what they're all about, and what we can expect from them next year. And anytime a new club comes to Chattanooga, it's like a feather in their cap. So they're going to give us their best game. And but hey, this team has, us being Chattanooga FC, has really stood out to me as one of the best all-around teams that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Some really, really solid players. Everyone manages to step up and contribute when asked, which is a tribute to Coach Fuller. So I think it's going to be a great game. I really do feel like we're going to see some fireworks. Hopefully, we will come out ahead. I think that we probably will. But yeah, it's going to be fun. So, but James, walk us through that starting 11. Let's talk about who's going to be on the pitch.
So tonight, I think we learn a lot from our lineup as far as how we're anticipating the other team. When you see different types of lineups, it tells you whether coach is looking to absorb pressure or to attack. Tonight, we're going to be running a 3-5-2. So we're going to have Alec Reddington in goal. We're going to have Sean Russell. We're going to have Spielman, Carr, and Woodfin. Marcano's on the field. Anytime I see Woodfin and Marcano, I know we're ready to bring it. Hernandez, Juan is going to be in the middle with Sean Hofstaffer, Ian McGrath. And then up top, we're going to have Darwin Lom accompanied by Zeca. Zeca, in his last game with the club, is going to be starting there as the striker beside Lom. And I'll tell you why I love this lineup. I love this lineup because Lom is just the peskiest striker. When you think of a defensive striker that is going to really get up and win some balls in the offensive third, it's him. And to have a player like Zeca running off that, I think we're going to see some goals early out of those guys. And obviously some deep experience with Russell and Spielman in the back. What do you think about this lineup, Charlie?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Fuller is looking to tilt the field towards the Bobcats' direction. I would expect with that firepower, just looking at it again, Zeca, no explanation needed there. Lom, one of our best players of the year, quite frankly. So that combination, the interesting thing about that combination that I love so much is Zeca really acts more like a facilitator when he's paired up top against Lom. So I would look for him to hold up play a little bit when he has the ball, distribute to Lom, and then check out those other midfielders that are right behind him, Hofstetter and McGrath.
Some goal scorers.
Just firepower. It's like you want a howitzer, you want a cannon, you want a Colt 45. What do you want? It's just, we've got Fuller is emptying the entire kitchen cabinet to just throw everything at these guys, which is great. It's going to make for some fun play. No surprise there with Juanito manning the midfield. I agree with you, Woodfin and Marcano, solid as ever. And just love the story with Cam Woodfin. He's played almost every game for us and has just been such a great player for us this year. And then that back line, that back three with Big Nick Spielman in the middle. Interesting having Kyle Carr back there on the defensive back line. That may be a testament to health, other players that we've got back there, or it may just be coach kind of tinkering with something new to see what next year might look like. So that's going to be cool. And I mean, Alec Reddington, what else can you say? The guy's been a brick wall for us. Really one of the surprises. I know, it's been amazing. Really one of the surprises of the year for us. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. So just a reminder, Bantam and Biddy is going to be offering 15% off food and non-alcoholic beverages today if you're wearing your CFC gear, and I believe also tomorrow. That's right. So wear your gear. Rep rep Chattanooga's football club, and make sure to get over there and get a discount and get some great food. I mean, Bantam and Biddy's fantastic stuff. So great for them.
All right, so let's roll into the moment we've been waiting for. It's so bittersweet, man. I don't even want to go to this, but let's go ahead and roll into this interview with Zeca. This is ahead of his final match. We're thrilled to give you all this. I mean, the insight from behind the scenes and just understanding the player. I think this is one of the best interviews we've done. What do you think, Charlie?
Totally agree. He as you said, he led us behind the curtain and basically, answered all of our questions. And he's just a fantastic guy. I mean, we could not have been more blessed to have him with us for 8 years. He's been a true representative of the club. So grateful for that. So can't wait to see that. Before we kick it over to the game, or to the interview rather, remember tonight is our final game of 2020. We'll be back sometime in the spring next year. Not sure exactly when yet. I think they're going to wait on what the Rona is doing to set that schedule, but we'll see what happens there. We definitely will be back next year. So this is our final game of the year, Zeca's final game as a player. And you don't want to miss it. So make sure you come down, cfctix.com, or you can email us at tickets@chattanooga.fc.com, and we will get you set up. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Here at Finley Stadium. Another note, at 6:30, so 45 minutes from now, Chattanooga Brewing Company is having a happy hour before the game. So they've got drink discounts before the game, and also to raise the pinkies. That's right. And also, that's right. Yeah, tea, soda, whatever you want there. Water, of course. So head over to there, and when we win, there's going to be additional drink specials. I think $4 pints on the Chattahooligans lager for the rest of the night, so you don't want to miss that. But before we go, on behalf of everyone in the club, from the front office, the board, the owners, all the way down to the people like me and James who sweep up the place at night, we just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all the supporters who have shown up, who have hung in there with us as we were not able to open the Finley, but now we are in a more limited fashion. So thank you so much. We can't say anything more than that.
It's been an incredibly difficult year, and I think we've all seen and understood just the depth of loyalty to this club, the support of this club. We love you all, and we can't wait to see you next year. We can't wait to be out in full force and full voice. So for one last time this year, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm James Dawson.
I'm Charlie Milburn, signing off. We'll see you next year. Let's see, Zeca.
All right, we have the privilege tonight to interview a longtime CFC veteran. It's Zeca Ferraz. This is going to be his last game. Tears in our eyes, but we're so thankful to have you with us tonight, Zeca. Thank you for taking this time out of your day to do this interview with us, because obviously we love you and we're going to miss you. But we want to take full advantage of this time to just pour into you as a soccer player and your time here with CFC, and just ask you some questions about that. So here's how we're going to kick it off. Okay. How in the world did a guy from, and I'm going to do my best here, Belo Horizonte, Brazil, end up playing for a club no one's ever heard of, the Chattanooga CFC. How did that happen?
Man, first of all, thank you for the introduction. It's a pleasure being here talking to you guys. Maybe people at home don't know, but I know both of those guys personally, and I'm glad I do. They're awesome. So my story happened this way. I wanted to come to the United States to play college soccer, and I committed to a school in Memphis, Tennessee called Christian Brothers University, CBU. And it's a small school there, not the biggest school in Memphis, but relatively a very good school, and I'm glad I made that choice. Um, Playing for them, I end up facing UWF, like University of West Florida. They're in my conference, in our conference that we played. So I've got to face Bill Elliott, head coach of UWF, and also at the time the head coach for CFC. And then I did relatively well. Sorry, my words are not really coming out well. I played well individually, got recognized, and he phoned my coach at CBU and asked if I was interested in joining the team, and that was in 2013. So it was a no-brainer for me. At that time, I was really close to committing to Rocket City, the team from Huntsville.
Yeah, the old Huntsville.
I mean, I already had talked to the coach. I was like, yeah, man, I want to stay in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I hadn't signed anything or like actually told him like that, the days and everything that was coming. But like when Bill came in with the offer, I mean, it was a matter of like a second. I'm like, yes, 100%, I'm in. And I think my first game with CFC was against Rocket City too, which I scored 2 goals, which is fun.
Very nice. Little known fact, I think wasn't Juan Hernandez on that team, Rocket City?
Yeah, I don't think he was on that year. Maybe the year after, 2004.
Very cool.
But
okay,
still,
so that leads us into the next question. So tell us about that first game. What do you remember?
So my school, the schedule of the school was always messed up, and they always released me. I was the last player to arrive every summer, which made things harder because it was hard to fight my way to a starting position on the first or the second game. But Coach Bill, luckily, he was like, I'm gonna play you, not start, but you're gonna come in from the bench for sure. And I think when I came in, the game was 2-0 already. And then I was able to score 2 goals in my very first game in CFD. So really got a taste of, what Chattanooga is about right from the beginning. And I just fell in love with it. I was like, wow, this place is awesome. I hope I can do this more time.
So with your time here with CFC, Zeca, aside from getting your own song, which we all know, what are some of your favorite memories being with CFC?
Man, every year something really stood out for me. 2013 was just an introduction. I got to play with some really good players. We made it to the regional final that year. We lost on that regional final, but still was an incredible experience just to begin with. 2014, if you guys remembered, we had a really strong team. I mean, our team was stacked from the back to the front. We're looking very good, and that's when we made it a very deep run in the playoffs, and then the crowd starts to show up, huge numbers. We were starting to see 6, 7, 10,000 at Finley. That was back in 2014. So those moments, were just like a dream coming true to me. I would go back to school and I would talk to my teammates and I'll phone my coach. I'm like, wow, you can't believe what happened yesterday. I played in front of this many thousands of people, and Yeah, those games, those playoff games, that feeling. I mean, you guys were there. You know,
Mhm.
there was some magic about those moments for sure.
Absolutely. And so tell us about that explosion of soccer at Finley Stadium in those years from 2013, 2014 that you mentioned all the way up and through that game in 2015 against Cosmos where Finley Stadium was packed out. And of course, we witnessed it from a fan's perspective, but take us through what that felt like from a player's perspective.
Okay. So yeah, I think the hype really built from 2014, if I had to be honest. 2014 was the year of the World Cup. And then I think that's when a lot of people here in Chattanooga clicked for, hey, soccer is cool and it's a lot of fun. And it was packed in all the bars in downtown. I mean, I remember Big River was packed for all the US games. And we used to go there to watch it because it was awesome. And then the word got out. It was like, hey, there's a soccer team here and you guys should come out and see this. And it's a lot of fun, like a couple of beers in the stadium and people go wild out there. I mean, and that's really when it catched on. I think that's when the spark really happened, and we started to see the big crowds. And then 2015 roll out, and again, if I was to pick the individuals on 2015, I wouldn't have said that the team was as good as 2014. But the chemistry was there, maybe even more so in 2015 than years before. I think because of the guys were willing to work and sacrifice more for the team. And we made that run. We carry on. We kept playing. We kept winning games and just not conceding goals and always finding ways to score like we did. Um, you know, all of a sudden we're playing against in the semifinal of 2015, and there's 10,000 people in the stadium. And then we won that game, which wasn't a hard game at all. If you guys remember, it was kind of an easier off, like a day off we had. And then and then Cosmos was in the final, and we knew they had the rights to host that game. And then deals were made in the background, which I don't even want to know how those things got done, but we got them to come out here, and then every day on that week leading up to that game of the final, we were hearing numbers and people speculating about crowds and size of figures and stuff. And when we showed up at Finley, it really is when we're walking into the field on the the lineup, the national anthem. That's when we actually know, like, hey, this is going to be massive. And we were like looking one side of the field, and the biggest thing that stood out for me that day was the chant Chattanooga. One side was Chatta this time. It was not like on like one side of the stage was Chatta, the other side was Nuga, and you're like, whoa, this is massive, so big, and the energy of that day is just something indescribable. I mean, that day still lives through that legend. I mean, it's still here. I'm glad it's all documented when we can talk about it because I still live through those days. I tell you.
Over 18,000 at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean that was more than 18,000 people there. Like it was beautiful.
It was packed, and we saw the U.S. women's national team and we saw the U.S. men's national team, and I don't think either of them outdrew that game, which
possible.
Because I remember what we were saying. It was all that same year as we were saying, like, hey, in the last couple months, we've seen 100,000 people at our stadium for soccer. Like, people like in Chattanooga. Yeah. So Zeca, you've scored in some of our biggest games versus our biggest opponents. For you personally, what's some of the goals that really stick out to you in your memory as just like big moments or special moments?
Well, I can talk about maybe all of them because they mean so much to me because I think when I put out my statement and I talked about how those moments were special is because I'm celebrating those goals with people like you, James, and you, Charlie. I'm like looking at people that I know, and I can point my finger as I'm running to the crowd, and I can like, yes, you there, you there. Like, we talked about this, and you know me, I know you, and that's like just I live that like everybody's just in synchronization. It's just like the emotion is just running through my vein, and it's just like I think that's why playing for this club was so special for me. It was not like a player fan relationship, like I'm here and you there, and I'm like we're all in this together, we all belong, and we all are here because of the same reasons. But if I had to pick one moment, I'm gonna just do one, just not keep you guys for too long today because I can talk all day.
Our time is your time. Let's do this.
Yeah, my goal on the semifinal for 2014 against man a California team, a team from the West Coast. I forgot their name now, Golden State or something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, on that 2014 season, I wasn't really seeing the field a lot. I was playing every game, but mostly coming out of the bench. John Carrier, which was playing on my position that day, which I was playing in the middle, like as a right midfielder. He got injured, and I started that game. And through the whole season, I was working so hard. I was doing like double training as far as like stuff on my own, and I was going to the gym every day, almost like twice a day, and I was just looking for something to grab, and like I scored like a goal that I consider like if you look at aesthetics, my most beautiful goal. I dribbled a ball through God knows how many people, and I shot with the left, which was I connected really well with the ball, and just that moment was just such a relief and an explosion for me because I was just looking for that specific moment. Every day that I was working out, and I was thinking like, what I'm doing this, I'm not even playing that much, but I knew there was something out there for me, and we're tied 1-1. At that point, the team from California got an early goal. Maybe Luke or Tias tied that game. I can't really remember, but we found a goal to tie. I came in with that moment, and after that, we just steamrolled them and we scored 3 more. And I remember I played that game like almost spotless. I don't think I missed a pass. I don't think I missed a tackle. I really felt good that day. But yeah, one moment I'll have to pick that maybe a while ago, but it was a true big moment for me.
And that's just a testament to the hard work and extra reps and everything that you put in leading up to that. You were prepared and ready to rock as soon as you got that chance. That's amazing.
And I know it because I was going to the gym at 6 a.m. over on the North Shore, and I'd get in there and I'd see Zeca, and he's already there.
Right?
Yeah, like I was hitting like upper body in the morning, like lower body in the afternoon after training or before, and I knew that was something for me. Like, and when the team needed me, and I was there for that moment, that meant so much to me. I mean, I got really emotional after that goal. I started crying. You can see maybe highlights, and you'll see me. I'm like on the floor, like.
It's interesting that's your favorite goal. I was thinking you were going to say your goal against FC Dallas, the MLS team that came and played. So that's interesting.
Yeah, the game, of course, that was like it was a goal that I wasn't really expecting to score. To be honest with you, you go on games like that, and you just like maybe if I get a shot on goal, I'm happy, And again, before the Dallas game, we had practice maybe twice, And I'm just like, I'm glad to be starting, and maybe I get a half in here, and I'm really excited about this. Yeah, it felt amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think for the moment and the what the team was going through that semifinal in 2014 was a really nice moment to step in and to do the job like we needed to.
Very cool.
Well, Zeca, I want to ask, like, you've been on the team for a long time. You know, a lot of team chemistry with different players. So I'm curious, who's your favorite bus trip buddy from
Buddy.
last year? Who's your favorite person? You're taking that road trip. You're going up to New York or Detroit or wherever. Who do you want to sit with?
Recently,
Anytime.
It can be recent.
okay. Let me see. I'm usually on my own zone when I'm in the buses because I'm already not in a great mood. So I'm like, if somebody's like trying to get near me, I'm like huffing and puffing. Like, yeah, it's bad. I mean, but I'm not the only one. And let's see. D'Amico was a great travel buddy. He was also the same way on his own and doing his own thing, not making a lot of noise, which is perfect for me. But my all-time favorite, man, if I had to pick one guy, is Luis Trude.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys don't know, but like we're still very close. He's a friend. Like I made a lot of friendships, through soccer. But if one guy that stood out the whole time, it's him for sure.
That's great. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely remember Luis. He's an amazing player, an amazing person. So
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. So so moving forward a little bit. So 2019, you had sort of unofficially kind of had a hiatus with your career, but you ended up coming back in the fall, and you finished as the leading goal scorer in the regular fall season. So tell us about that. We're slowly building up to this season and everything, but kind of take us through that that for you and what that was like.
Last year,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So last year, yeah. I was already very in between playing or not. I was doing a job in the office, doing a regular job, 8 to 5 type of thing. And I wasn't like fully hearted committed to that. I look back to it now and I'm like, well, definitely could have done a couple of things better that on that past experience I had. And I ended up falling back to soccer as a safety net, like I always have. And I knew I could count on that, especially Coach Bill. After I left my previous job, I was the first person that I talked to, and I told him like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything right now, so I'm gonna fully dedicate to this." And that was CFC, and he was like, "No problem. Like, we're gonna take care of you. Um, you just do what you do, and we'll see how the season are gonna go." I don't think he was counting on me to be a person who step in as much as I had, and I did. Um, there was a lot of new players, especially players in my position, coming in fresh from college, and I understand. I just hang in the back a little bit, wait for things to phase it out, and I was just doing my work at practice, like, also doing extra stuff on my own and just waiting for that chance. And that came in really against Nashville in our conference play. Our team was struggling to score goals, trying to get a result at that point. And Coach Bill pulled me aside and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna play you tomorrow. We really need you." And for you that don't know, I don't know if he's gonna hear this, but Coach Bill gets really emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets really emotional when he pulls you on the side. You're like, "Please don't cry right now."
It's like it's coming.
Yeah. Like, Bill, I got you. Like I always do. Like, don't worry, I got you, man. Don't worry. And I was like, I got you, coach. Yeah. He's like, okay. And then I went in on that game and I was feeling very good. I scored 2 goals. And after that, my confidence just built it from it. We were playing other teams, Asheville and who other teams that we had. I mean, played Nashville again and things went well. Atlanta. And we just really found a chemistry within our team, find the right players to step in, and that was brilliant. We won the conference, which we hadn't done it in 2 years. It was great to do that. And then Members Cup came in, and to be honest, things slowed down for me a little bit. It wasn't my best part of the season, that second part, but very good learning experience. Very good time for me to learn about a longer season, which I wasn't really used to. Like, I was only playing the summers for a while. Now having to deal with fall and the challenges that come with a longer schedule. So I think I used that, especially this year, a little more.
So going from the NPSL into NISA, what's the transition been like, the way you see it for the club? Is there a real competitive difference between the NPSL and the NISA, and like, how do you feel like the club and the team and the players have kind of adapted there?
Yeah, there's definitely a switch as far as competition goes. Um, Things are different. Now it becomes a professional setup, and I see it in a way as it is a job, like it is a full-time job right now, different than what it was. NPSL is more like a summer thing that you are just, for most of the guys, keeping the fitness for the college season that's coming up, and of course you want to do well, but you want to enjoy your summer and do things and that kind of take you a little bit soccer off the focus. Um, Now playing NISA and being a professional side, now it becomes mo like your livelihood, and you got to take it as serious as it gets. And I think that's when it becomes either a success or not, on not much of none of those things that come with hard work and dedication. The same thing if you're gonna go in the office, like in the morning, like when we usually train, like you want to go and you want to be presentable, and you want to make sure that you're ready and you're prepared and your body's awoke, and you're doing things to get you going through the day like you would on a normal job, not just because you're a professional player you're going to do it differently. So definitely that switch on mindset, and trying to be as professional as you can through everything, every practice, I mean every game, and how you prepare and how your lifestyle type of thing. Definitely you see a switch for sure.
Yeah, and so now the time has come. So you after this season, the trip up to Detroit with the tournament and everything, you've made the decision to kind of turn the page and move on to your next chapter in life. So walk us through what brought you to that decision, and why you're starting on a new adventure.
Yeah, so I've, like you mentioned, I've been thinking about this for a while now. It's not something I just decided like last weekend or anything like that. I knew there was a time for me to step out of the game, and I'd rather do that now on my own terms, and me personally making that decision, not somebody else telling me, "Hey, but it's kind of time for you to do this." And I still feel good. I mean, I'm a lucky in some ways, and also I think I did my part of being away from the trainer room and being away from injuries and things like that. So I'm healthy as it gets, and I want to leave it on a high note, like leave it playing on a decent level that I can hold myself and hold my ground on my own, if I may. Um, yeah, and then for most people that don't know, I have a civil engineering background, which something that I did before, and then I like to pursue that again. But take a lot of the lessons that I learned in the past year, all the maturity that was achieved in my life. I also got married then,
Yeah.
so it's time for me to think about further up in the future and what's going to carry on through myself and my family going forward. I want to really start a family and kids, and why not? So yeah, it's just getting back to adult life and reality, and something that I'm passionate about, and that doesn't change. It's just time to me to feel a different role and maybe see things from the outside now.
So after all these years, are you going to plan to stay in Chattanooga?
I don't know. I really enjoy the fact that I've built so many relationships here that's probably gonna help me on my next step. You know, I I don't have anything right now. I don't have anything to fall back to, but um, I'm on a point where I have made a lot of connections, and I know that definitely I'm gonna need them. And I'm already talking to some people here about that, and but I'm also open. My wife, she has a job that is flexible with her moving, and she's up for it. So could be a time to do that, or we just have to see. I mean, we're pretty open right now, and then I just don't know.
So that's a message to all the engineering firms here in town. We cannot strongly enough recommend
Yeah,
Zeca Ferraz if you want examples of leadership and integrity, and you will not find a better example than the gentleman that we're talking to here. So hit us up after the show. We'll connect you with Mr.
please,
Ferraz.
man. I'm gonna drop my LinkedIn account after this.
In the comments.
There you go. There you go. So you've got the shirt on for the academy. In the meantime, until your next chapter kind of reveals itself, are you gonna stay involved in the academy? Are you gonna stay involved in coaching in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, definitely doing coaching right now. I love doing that. I love working with the next generation and building them for whatever they want to do, carry on playing or just becoming better young men and young women and young adults. And when yeah, definitely doing that. I also do private coaching, which is something that I really like, working closely with individuals that are actually trying to achieve something a little more, and I love pushing them and sharing with them. I think that's what I really like the most, sharing with them my experience. If they want to do it, if they want to make up the work for it, I'm gonna definitely tell them and showing them the way if I can.
Cool.
Well, Zeca, as soon as they finish the new soccer field in Highland Park, you'll have to put me on some cone drills. Got to get ready for CSL Winter League. Yeah. So last question for you here. Thoroughly enjoyed just chatting with you, hanging out with you and Charlie. Do you have anything that you'd want to say to the fans, the teammates, friends, and family?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for allowing me to do this. My time here in Chattanooga as a player has come to an end. Um, but I wouldn't be here in front of you guys and talking and just with a smile on my face as I am right now if this experience wasn't a good one, and a good is not even a word close enough to say how you know reflecting on everything, especially this week and these moments, as so many people have reached out to me and unexpected messages and Galen telling that I'm his all-time favorite, freaking Chattanooga's legend, saying those things to me. It's just it's hard to keep my emotions low when it's something I'm gonna be fighting on Saturday, because I know as I walk on that field for the last time, it's just gonna be hard. And yeah, I just very thankful. And it's hard to describe the feeling that I have right now, especially now after all the social media things that went on, and here talking to you guys, and remembering a lot of those times and those moments. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited for it, and also I know it's gonna be tough. But if I have anything to say anymore, anything to ask, I just anyone that's out there that's being part of this journey, and a lot of you know who you are. I've been reaching out to so many people too, and getting a lot of good feedback. Please come out for the last game to send me off, and because every single one of you being part of this journey and made a huge difference in my life.
Well, if history has shown us anything, it's that in big moments, you step up in a really big way. So I'm sure that Saturday will be no different. And we've loved having you on. We've loved having you in our town. We are so grateful to have you, Zeca, and thank you for everything that you've done. Just in case maybe you haven't heard these stats, Zeca, let's just run through them real quick. Let's see. So 8 years, 24 goals, 19 assists, 1 amateur national championship, 2 NPSL national title runners-up, 8 NPSL Southeastern Conference championships, 3 NPSL South Regional crowns, and 1 NISA Southeastern Regional championship. That's quite the resume.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it hits home, man, thinking about all those trophies, every single one of them, just the memories and the times that were spent, and the tears, the sweat, the blood that was required to accomplish all of those things. I'm feeling it right now, I'll tell you.
Well, Zeca, it's been wonderful to spend this time with you this evening. Thank you so much for all of it, for the soccer, for just what you brought the city, the joy, the moments that we've all come to enjoy. And we want to wish you all the best for this Saturday. All the best. Maybe you get that 2014 feeling again. You just left-footed, laces through it.
Man, no pressure, but hey, I told the guys, PKs, free kicks, step out, because I'm going for it.
Yeah.
It's a Zeca show.
And if you're out there, man, I want to just, who I'm going to look for. Every single one of you, I'm going to just point fingers the whole time. Yay!
We'll be there. We'll be there. So thank you so much, Zeca. You're the best.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. If you need tickets, cfctix.com, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you again.
Hey, thank you, both of you, for all you do for the club, and I'm happy, and then for every single one of you, all the dedication you put into it. I know it's from the heart too. So we have that in common, much more. So thank you both so much.
Yeah, no doubt.
Awesome. All right, see you guys.
All right,
Thank
see
you.
you.
Take care.